Now, the Fox 61 Weather Watch with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank.
Hi everyone, Fox 61 Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank here on the Weather Watch. A flood watch in effect all the way through late tonight. We've seen significant flooding already today with slow-moving, heavy tropical downpours and even thunderstorms as well. And we are still watching for the threat for an isolated severe thunderstorm through tonight too. There is some spin in the atmosphere, so a low risk for a tornado and any thunderstorms that end up developing. Here's a look at the future radar as we head towards 5:30, 6:30. And as we head towards 8 or 9 o'clock, this is all moving out of here. So we'll be watching the radar until then. And unfortunately, again, that risk for slow-moving downpours continues. Lows tonight, though, in the 50s to right around 60 degrees. Once the rain moves out, the humidity plunges and it turns refreshing as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Look at the humidity tracker all the way in that comfy territory by the time the sun comes up tomorrow. Lots of sun tomorrow with high temperatures in the 70s. September weather is back. Heading into Friday, it's a similar day, cooler than average, but clouds starting to increase. We're looking at highs close to 70 degrees. And then all eyes are on Hurricane Lee, which is a Category 2 hurricane at the latest update, passing to the west of Bermuda and weakening as the storm moves north. The cone shows where the center of the storm can track. It does not show impacts, which will extend well from the center of the storm in either direction. And we're not thinking that rain's a big issue for us. We're not thinking that coastal flooding is going to be a big issue for us, but it will turn windy as the storm passes heading into Friday night and into Saturday. So regarding rain, we're expecting very little. We might get some of the outer rain bands into Connecticut. The farther east you go, the better chance there is of seeing some, but most of the state likely gets less than a half of an inch of rain. The best chance for an inch would likely be over the border into Rhode Island, and some areas may stay completely dry as we head into the day on Saturday. As you head farther east, those rainfall totals go up with a lot of rain for Cape Cod and the islands. And regarding wind, we're thinking that, normally when you get wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles per hour, and these will peak Saturday morning, it's normally not so bad for us. But because of all of the rain that we've had recently, that can make trees come down a bit easier, especially because there's a lot of leaves on the trees as well, and that can provide friction. They kind of act like tiny parachutes, and it can make those trees topple a bit easier. So I'm not expecting widespread or numerous outages with this system. However, there could be a few outages. So we'll be watching that as we head through the day on Saturday. And look, as you head closer to the storm, how those peak wind gusts go up and away. I did want to tell you there is a slight chance that they end up issuing a tropical storm watch for the Connecticut shoreline. If that happens, I do not want you to think that we could get tropical storm force winds in Connecticut. Sometimes the National Hurricane Center will do that for a worst case scenario, but we do not anticipate sustained winds up to that magnitude. And if you look here at the odds of tropical storm force winds, they are very low in Connecticut, less than 5%. But as you look for our friends to the east, notice that those odds are much higher. Taking a look also at the coastal flooding aspects, it's not an issue for Long Island Sound. And one of the reasons why is because flow around a hurricane is counterclockwise, and because the storm is tracking to the east of us, that brings us a northerly component to the wind, and it's actually effectively pushing water away from the beaches in Long Island Sound. So the north shore of Long Island will experience some flooding, but it'll have the opposite effect here at home. That being said, for many Atlantic beaches, it's going to be a big problem, especially in areas where geographically water can kind of pile up. So just to kind of recap, we are living on the edge of Lee. Fairly minimal impact, especially regarding rainfall. Some areas may stay completely dry. Others will see a few showers, but the bottom line is we're getting more rain today than we will have at any point during the day on Saturday. We will get gusty winds on the order of 30 to 40 miles per hour for much of the state. Few outages are possible, but we aren't expecting significant, numerous outages, though it never hurts to prepare just in case. And as I mentioned before, the farther east you go, the better chance you have of running into some rain. If you are planning on traveling to Cape Cod this weekend, I would think about not going there. Again, start thinking about what your plan B is. If you were taking a ferry to the islands, the ferries may be disrupted heading into the weekend, especially on Saturday due to wave height. So I just don't want you to get stranded anywhere. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Sunday's looking good, mostly sunny, still a bit breezy, but things kind of evening out here. And a beautiful stretch of weather after Lee moves away, and by that point, we will deserve it.